paying off their debts for all of this and giving them more weapons to replenish the ones they use. It's hypocritical. Okay. So, old uncle, whatever his name is, the old man that is supposed to be president, all of this stuff happened to show the world who they are. In the khutbah we was talking about the baboon walking with his red butt exposed. He don't know he got a red behind and it's shiny, and he's walking just arrogant, as stupid as he can. But everybody else can see it. This time, everybody and everything that's happened, the atomic energy thing with Iran, is clicking just like that, falling into place, right? Everything that the Israelis is doing, this was the combination of it, because their arrogance make them do stuff. They're gonna blow up a tower with white people, the white presses, because they're arrogant, and they don't get it till after they do it.
With no compromise.
No compromise. And Hamisa, it just means enthusiasm. That's what Hamas means. Okay, Zion is getting meaner, but weaker. Okay. I talked about the laptop guidance system. All those things are like you can see they're just right there. Remember, the higher tech they go, sometimes the lower tech you go. History, momentum of history, okay. The last thing I think we got here is we have to trust our analysis, and we done held on to our analysis no matter what everybody thought all along. And it just so happens that we're right. It just so happens that we're right. I'm sorry to say, or I'm happy to say, all the time and every time. So far we have been wrong with these analyses. We already talked about critical mass in the Negro, and interpreted drums. Drums say, this is what's happening. The drums say, this is what we've been talking about here. Historical intelligence. Historical intelligence means that we always meant to go around to black students and black studies, but the picture is more comprehensive. And the solution is more in line with where they're headed anyway. Everybody in black college is going to join the system, just about, right? Yeah, I mean, generally, they're not going to go in business or go and open up a shop.
Not right away.
Huh?
Not right away. Definitely not right away.
No, the thing is that we're given this time, the solution that evolved to is solution that's digestible to them. Right? It's digestible to how often you're going to get that the real solution to the problem is digestible to the one that holds the solution in their hand. Well, the solution to the global problem is that the world has to make different decisions about the air, the water, and they ain't for that, right? So now the Negro, look at the Negro getting a solution that's, hey, it's not going to take hardly any, oh man, please do it. You do your people a lot of good. Oh, get a job with the government, that's all they ever wanted anyway. Right? The Negro, anyway, hey, the job goes. That's the way history is, though. When it falls your way, it's just almost a smooth path. And to do this the way we're talking about, it has to be a smooth path. There's no rejection. We don't reject that. We don't reject that, brother. Right on. Bring it on, man. That's good. That's a good idea. I can hear it at the university now. We're not going to get over 2 or 3 questions or objections to this solution. Right? That's all. They already got the old ones already ready to get out there. They already got they already turned in their application. Right? They didn't turn if they're going into the diplomatic corps, right? Well, it's down at the government, so they want to join the diplomatic corps. If it's self-defense, or I think if I join, I have a master's degree. If I go into the military, I'll be an officer right away, and after I take 2 or 3 tests, I'll be a colonel, right? Because they're going to pass all the tests, because they test wise, right? Amen. Now, I'm going to say this in close. This is the thing about being solution-orientated. You're not tied to old, you know what I mean? This sounds exactly opposite of what we would have said 10 years ago, or it would have been. It's exactly, you don't join them white folks and help them. This is the mean old white man. And now we're saying, don't join to protect yourself, to protect your children, right? Hey, and we don't get nothing out of it. We don't get a star by name or win or lose $1 or 2. It is the analysis based on the reality of our time. If there's any lesson to be learned here, that's the one. Okay. So, are there any questions? Are there any comments at this time?
Well, what's the, I guess the question is like, well, what's the difference between like now and back then? It seems like a tried and tested strategy here, integrating into the system.
No. At that time, people joined the system, but in those days they said, what did they used to say? We're gonna join it. We're working within.
Yeah.
The only thing, everybody that joined the system just wanted a job.
Well,
They didn't change the system, evidently. They didn't change the system from working within. They solidified it. Now, it's different. This is more visible and more real. Anybody that watches TV and hear anything on the news know it's not possible for the system as it is to work for your benefit. It's not possible. I mean, the system is racist, it's murderous, and it's unforgiving. That out of all of these things, they got one police going to the penitentiary. And this happens every day. It's been, I don't know how many tell it to, since then, and he's just, before he even gets sentenced. And others have went to court. It's unbelievable. So there's a big difference now. The difference then is that the FBI and all those people had diverted the whole movement. So the people that they influenced to join the system was people that wanted to join because they was tired and they didn't want to fight no more. They just didn't want to fight no more. And we're going to have a job. And not that bad. And open for promotion. That's why, and 1969 or 70, the statement was to the police, brother, and the police would say, I've heard them say, don't call me brother, I'm not your brother. That was back then. But now the person would not reply, I'm not your brother, they would just keep their mouth shut. I am your brother. What's happening to you is happening to all of us. This whole system is shot full of holes. Right? And as soon as I get a chance, if they put you in a paddy wagon and run you around till your neck is broke and your back is broke, and don't nobody know nothing about it, and the black police, the chief of police, the system, working within the system now is different. The system has been proven to be a failure. But you're swearing to uphold the Constitution of the United States, the Constitution of Maryland, not the reality. See, the orders are, you do this, but that's against the law. You do that, or you're out, right?
Right.
That's not what we're saying. We're saying when you reach a critical mass, the minute you reach anywhere close to being able to take a overt position, let's do it. Until you're doing that, when they beat the nigga, you just don't beat him. Maybe he might live, but you don't want to blow your cover until you can use it for something. You know what I mean? This is just part of, okay, the other thing is evolution and decision making. We would ask anybody, okay, what solution do you have? What solution? You're going to wake all the black people up? Well, good. How long is that going to take? 500 years? Go ahead. Go tell all the niggas the truth and see how long it's going to take them to come around. Okay, you're going to reform the white man. The white man's children are already reformed. They're already non-angry at black people. You see what I mean? Why? Because the TV mixes up everybody. It's cool to be black or to be mixed race. It used to be a trauma. Well, it wasn't a trauma too much. But all them pretty yellow girls used to be half crazy, to tell the truth. Wasn't it? Everybody wanted one. I said, I don't want one of them. I mean, people is crazy. They're half crazy because the internal stuff that they're dealing with, you know what I mean? That you're not a scientist and you can't unravel it. And you didn't make it, so, although I had a few yellow girls, but you look at my pictures. Did I bring any pictures of Miss Mary and them? Miss Mary was black as this thing right here. See, they don't see that. All they see is, hey man, that's a nice yellow girl that you with. I said, shoot, you ain't seen Miss Mary and them and all the rest. In fact, all of my friends were standard Negroes. If you look at all them stacks of pictures I got, everybody there is standard Negro. Just like here, we're standard Negro color, they was too. But everybody just said, ooh, look at that girl laugh. I said, you ain't seen Miss Mary. And Miss Mary was blue-black. Did I show y'all pictures? Boy, Miss Mary was so black, it's a shame. I'm telling you, that girl was B-L-A-C-K. You want, I don't want to tell you this again, but I was over at Starbucks, the old Starbucks, Pennsylvania Avenue. And I walked in the parking lot, and I saw this lady, and I had to turn around, and I walked by, I said, I'm not hitting on you, but you're the prettiest and the blackest woman I have seen, and this is the whole line. I said, when I was a kid, that was more people like you. Black, you know, blue-black. This lady was blue, double blue, and double black. I haven't seen nobody in Maryland, and I haven't seen that. That lady must have been sent in from somewhere. But she was an American Negro, not an African Negro. I said, I'm not hitting on you, but I just have to tell you. She must have thought I was crazy. Because I know probably nobody ever told a woman that black that she was very beautiful. I say, hey, I just got to tell you this. And I said, but anyway, back to the subject of the time that we're living in, the ability to recognize the time that you're living, and the ability to develop and execute those things that are pertinent for the time you're living in. And that's what we're able to do that. That's what we're doing here. Yeah. Are there any more questions and comments about those positions?
Since the white folks are back, we got a better road.
Huh?
We got better roads since the white folks are back. Better roads, the streets, roads,
Since the white folks
came back.
came back.
DC roads was terrible. You would know when you got to DC, the roads were so bad.
The roads was bad, like across the tracks where we used to live, the roads was.
It's for like 14th Street, Minnesota Avenue, they kind of paving the streets now.
Oh, yeah. They done paved this street 3 or 4 times. I don't know, I guess they just.
They got a paving line. I mean, the Caucasian, it's a couple around my neighborhood. It's an Asian sister and a Latino brother. They love to call everybody. They call DPW, they call the police, and they call the paving thing. They got the street paved out there. Real nice.
Don't get us wrong, especially if you're in D.C. If you're white, you're all right. When we wanted to get something from the city, it was on expediency. We wanted to get bumped up on the thing, you know what I mean, to deal with when we was getting this property and all of this years ago. They wouldn't give us nothing. And the first day I went to the hearing, there was a lawyer that first thing he thanked them was the place over there on the street where people go to where they can't hear too good. Yeah, you did. This lawyer, first thing he says, I want to thank the board. It's all Negroes. Now I'm thinking I'm a Negro when I go down here and tell them I need this, that, and another. They gonna say, nigga, you got it covered. Give me $50 on the side and you got it. We don't do that and we can't do that. And they didn't give me nothing. I'm going to the hearing 6 months later. And the white man had just got there 2, 3 weeks. I want to thank you, the lawyer. I want to thank you telling them for the expediency for putting me at the front of the list. I said, boy, look at here. They had 2 kinds of people in those days. They had the good old coons from way, real super coons, and then they had the Marion Barry type. He opened up the spigot. If you can steal it, you can have it. Right? It don't belong to me, it's yours. Right? Marion Barry, I told Christopher, his son, I said, anytime your father wants to speak over here, he can come. That's only for him. Because we didn't consider him as like an official. We looked at him as like our uncle who always stole and robbed. And you know what I mean? We all got an uncle like that that's full of shenanigans, right? All the time. That was it, and that was Marion Barry. Hey man, he's the only official. We said, hey man, he can come here anytime. He got an open door policy. You know, because anything, when I first got here, man, 30 years ago, if it wasn't nailed down, if it belonged to the city, you could have it. Marion Barry was so busy snorting cocaine, not snorting, smoking the pipe. And when Rashida told on him or something, he came right out of this, that bitch there, blah, 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 right? That's the first thing I said, man, I said, DC is a trip, right? You know, I said, the mayor is a crackhead, but he never oppressed nobody, right? He was his own problem. That's the way a good crook is. He hurts himself, but he don't hurt nobody else, right? You ain't never go and the people at Lorton, they could write out a script. I used to be in the federal system, and it was hard to sue the federal government. But the brothers at Lorton were saying, yeah, well, we're going to get so much money because we're going to sue. And I was thinking, they're going to sue the government, it's going to be hard, it's going to take a long time. And all of a sudden, they should do it every other week. They get $5,000 or something for, you know, because the government was so loose and so lax. And all that stuff you need legally, you could get it for $35 when I got here. Tags, you didn't need to go down there and stand in line. Your car could be smoking down there. Big bellows of smoke. And you got that, no, I ain't no problem. I got my tag, sit out in the window. I passed that was the way it went here. But we don't want that type of system for what we've been talking about. We want this stuff that we're saying is true. We want to implement what's written, right? And what we got coming. Okay, everything that you talk about is written. It says you can't do that to niggas, right? That's what it says. So what we're shooting for is only what you've already guaranteed. Are there any more questions or comments?
One, how do we, like, definitely we get the message out with the video, but how do we promote this policy?
Well, first thing we can start with, we don't have to start a long time from now, we can start right now, okay? You went over to Howard, right? They're starting to open up at the universities.